I'm Josh Marszalek. I'm a parent of an AHC child, and I'm a board member of the Alternating Hemiplegia of Childhood Foundation. We have a 3-year-old daughter who's Kathryn, and we live in Minneapolis. We've kind of gotten used to Kathryn's episodes and dealing with AHC. She was first diagnosed at 8 months. We were fortunate enough to live between 2 good children's hospitals, and between those 2 hospitals we got the diagnosis. Some other events between our diagnosis and her birth helped us get a diagnosis. We happened to go down to Cincinnati for a second large episode before we knew what was going on. And it turned out that another family had just been there about 12 months prior. So it was a blessing to us that, that another family, of the 200 in the country just happened to be in the hospital. So we count our blessings for that. Her episodes normally are about every 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. We get a 2 or 3 day episode. They've changed recently to be about every 2 weeks, but it's summertime and we've had a lot more fun, So we think that excitement and just a lot of input is a trigger for her. Her episodes are different than we call them attacks. An episode to us is a 2 to 3 day experience where she gets limp on one side or the other. Sometimes it's both sides. And she has rapid eye movements, and we call them wonky eyes. We have a 5-year-old son who can't quite comprehend what's going on, so we describe things very elementary, But on those days, the whole family just slows down, and we hold Kathryn all the time because we know that she's aware of what's going on. So we read tons of books and play quiet games and watch movies and that kind of stuff. We haven't had a lot of those episodes where I should back up. Some of the episodes she'll have cyclical pain. The whole episode isn't her in pain. She flexes really hard, and then they're like contractions, like when you're pregnant. And then she calms down, and then they come in waves. But we haven't had those in a while, and we're pretty happy about that. Oh yeah, she's a sassy little girl. She knows 20 or 30 words in sign language, and since her fine motor skills aren't up to snuff, she doesn't know a lot of the spelling and the smaller signs, but she communicates sign language. In context, we know what she's trying to say. She tries lots and lots of words. If she's describing body parts, she's saying hair, eyes, and nose. And to us as parents, we understand right away. But her aunts and uncles and grandparents, you kind of just have to put it in context for them, and then they understand. But she's progressing. One of the things we started this summer is hippotherapy, which is a speech therapy tool, and she rides horses now. So, there's 2 people holding her on either side, but she is riding horses and doing speech therapy, and this is supposed to help her stomach and core. And we've noticed that she's gotten louder, and her speech is coming faster, so we think it's working. Yeah, she's been walking. She's 3 in February, so she's been walking about a year, and the PT, the physical therapy goals have been to refine it now that we got her up and going. She's kind of got a gait, and it's been described as the AHC gait. So she's not as stable as her brother, and she falls down all the time, but she's got horrible knees because she's just falling all the time. But she's been trying to run and But she's ambulatory. We trust her around the house, and we shut the door to the stairs so she doesn't do that. But I can give her a piece of paper and tell her to go in the garbage, and she walks over and tries to do dishes with mommy and rolls out pie dough, and she does a lot of that stuff. On different members has been different. My wife and I've went through a period of mourning because you have a plan, and we had an older, Levi's older and he's 5, so you get family plans and family goals, and it's pretty much rewritten for you. So you go through a period of mourning, and we're probably still in there a little bit because we have waves of self-pity. A lot of times those waves come when she's in an episode, and she humbles us quite a bit because when you're wallowing in self-pity, she'll just look up at you and smile, and it's like, well, she can handle it. She's the one getting the brunt of it. But our extended family, I think, like my folks, they're very energetic, and they like to solve problems. So there's a lot of energy from there. My brothers live across the country, so we don't see each other much anyway. But there's support. Yeah, and this is my first family meeting, so this is something I've been starting to learn. She's on flunarizine. When we put her on flunarizine, we noticed anecdotally that the episodes were less frequent, so we keep her on that medicine. She hasn't had one of those painful episodes, so we don't give her anything to come out of episodes. We just know it's gonna, we just have to deal with it. We're afraid to put her on medicine that we don't know what the ramifications are. So, like, we know that some people use Valium or other sedatives to alleviate the painful episodes, and we just haven't had, since we learned that, we haven't had that opportunity. For us, we think it's a lot of input. We think being at the mall at Christmas time, it's hard enough for me, and we think that kind of thing is a trigger for her. When we wrestle around in the house, I'm roughhousing with the kids, she gets what we call attacks, where she'll just tighten up and get wonky eyes, and then we kind of settle down for 10 minutes, and then she's back. But what would put her in an episode, we don't know yet, but like the increased frequency this summer, we think it's just more activity and input, stimulation. Yeah. We don't think about it too much. We haven't lowered the bar on her, so we pump her full of information because we know the input is good. And just like our son, we just, we try to set both of them up for success, but we have not accepted any kind of lower success for her. It's too far to look at, we have to look kind of we're planning a house right now, and in the planning of a house, we have built-in flexibility for wheelchairs and stuff if it's needed, but we're not going to go out and buy her one yet.